We're going to talk NFL draft this week. We're absolutely going to go ahead and get that taken care of this week. So the NFL draft. So we're going to start talking draft as well. We haven't yet. So definitely this is going to be our first conversation about the NFL draft. So draft targets. So what's going on with draft targets this week? So with targets, what is that for the NFL draft? So when you have targets, this is what the Ravens would do in the draft. So targets is definitely what the Ravens would do in the NFL draft. So these are guys positions that the Ravens would absolutely look at in the draft to go ahead and get players that they are interested in. Now there are going to be some players. We basically in some spots we're condensing this to positions that they might be looking for. It's hard to tell sometimes with every dollar counts, EDC, Eric DaCosta, but we're going to go ahead and go over that as well. So let's go ahead and check this out. Draft targets. Guard, I think, is definitely a need for the Ravens. I think it might be the biggest need on the board for the Baltimore Ravens. Definitely with Daniel Falele struggles, and on the one side, Pat McCarry struggles. Pat McCarry, free agency on the other side. Andrew Voorhees getting benched early in the year. Interesting to see what happens there. Definitely you need help at guard. What might the Ravens do? Tyler Booker. I think he's pretty much the only one I think that's going to be first round. More and more I see mock drafts of him in the first. I think he might fall. I think guards generally fall, though, historically. Usually guards don't get picked up super high, although I think he's the best chance of getting drafted first round. I do think there is some chance more than other people seem to think that he gets picked in the second. But to me, clearly he's number one on the board. The best combination mauler technician on the board. Big-time school at Alabama. Absolutely. Tate Rutledge. This is the mauler. This is the road grader. This is the guy that's going to push you around at the line of scrimmage. No question about it with Tate Rutledge being one of the best tackle, one of the best guard prospects in the draft. No question about that. Big, strong guy. On the other side, Dylan Fairchild. I have him a little higher than I've seen him. Basically more, he's not the mauler that Rutledge is at guard. I don't know if he's immediately plug and play. Excellent technique. I like his footwork. I like his hands. I really like that. Maybe he needs to get a little stronger, which is why he's not going a little higher. But I think Booker is like the combination of these two, very much so, which is why he's number one. But Fairchild, I have him a little higher than I think fifth and sixth. I don't think he's going to wait that long. I think he's going to be very good choice. Greg Zabel, I think I'm saying it right, from North Dakota State. He was very good at the Senior Bowl. This we know. I think he was very good at the Senior Bowl, especially small school guys playing well there is a good thing for them. Playing well against elite competition, they always look for that. I think he's a guard at the pro level, play at tackle. So interesting to see. Somebody might put him at tackle. Second round, I think still. I've seen him on some boards higher than that. I think second round as well. Donovan Jackson, same. Again, seeing him a little bit higher, but I probably think second, third round range. Played very well in place of another guy we'll talk about, but this is why he got so high on the board. Again, I think he's a guard. He can play a little tackle, but I think he's guard. A lot of these guards were right tackles here, like Marcus Mebo. Definitely played right tackle at Purdue. Could play right. I more really see him as a guard. I don't think he's going to be able to play right tackle in the NFL. Definitely not left tackle. I think guard is where I have him projected. Jonas Salvea, I see him much, much higher. I don't know why. I'm going to put him here because I've seen him much higher. I don't really see where he's that high of a pick. First round, I don't think so. I think he's a little bit lower. His feet and hands really need a lot of work to me. But he's very strong at the point of attack. So I definitely think that's. I'm gonna be kind here and say second, third round, but I think he's more of a project as well. And he's definitely at guard. I don't see him at tackle at all. Next level. Number the offensive tackle. These guys, I think they're in purple for sure. First round, no chance they drop the second round. Kelvin Banks, I have the highest at 1 in Texas. Will Campbell, I see a lot at 1. I really like Banks. Banks, I think, has that strength. Sometimes you can't teach strength for an offensive tackle. You really can't teach it. He has it. I think he's definitely the strongest. I think the reason he's lower is the measurables. Arms a little shorter. Doesn't really look the part always. Kind of like, to me, not quite J.C. Latham in last year's draft, but yeah, it doesn't quite look the part as well. But I think he's fantastic. I think definitely he's number 1. Will Campbell, I think, is more of a consensus number 1. I don't have him as high. I don't think he has the measurables, but I don't think he's as good at the point of attack. I think that kind of matters. He's got great feet and balance, which is really what you like. So I think like he'll require less coaching. I think his ceiling is a little higher. I don't think he's a great tackle. If you put him at tackle right away at left tackle, I don't really see that. Probably the best right guard is Amon Membu from Missouri. I think he's pretty good at right tackle. There's a lot of guys that project right tackle. I think he's the best one in terms of actually being a right tackle right away. I think probably the closest one. I think on the right team, right situation, he's probably the one you can play right away. I don't really see him at left tackle. Again, you could kick him in the guard. I think of a team like the Eagles or something like that. It takes him late. You could probably put him at guard, no problem. But I think he could probably play tackle. I think he's definitely going in the first round. These two about 1-2. Josh Simmons, I think he's probably somewhere in that first, second round. Injury last year. Donovan Jackson kind of filled in for him at the end. Simmons, I think the only thing is injury is concern. I think that's the only reason why I'm not higher. Upside is tremendous. Same with Josh Connery. I think outstanding. This is if you want left tackle, this is the guy you want. This guy, I don't think he's on the right side either. I think he's more of a pass blocker. I think that's his strength. I think definitely that's why I think he's going to get taken high as well. But if the Ravens were to take him, I think they would put him on the left side. You can leave Rosengarten on the left side if you take him. Very strong, good week at the Senior Bowl as well. These guys are more late first to Eshery from Minnesota. Antonio Eshery, pretty good. I think this is I like his size. I think, unfortunately, I see a lot of Daniel Falele with him. So I think you should play him at tackle, right tackle. Definitely got the size. Wyatt Miller, I wish he was better at the Senior Bowl. Not quite as good as well. At the Senior Bowl, kind of struggled a little bit. But I still don't think he drops too far. I think about second round. Again, right situation. I think he'll be fine. Cameron Williams, Texas, big, strong, physical right tackle. No question about it there with him. Travis Hunter, let it begin. Is he going to play both sides? I think it really depends on the team that takes him, that drafts him. I don't know what team that is, but I think whoever team takes him, I think it matters the most. I think he could definitely play wide receiver. He's an outstanding corner. He's the guy I think that takes the ball away. These top 3 are terrific. Will Johnson, I have him below Hunter, I think only probably because of the two-way aspect with Travis Hunter. But Will Johnson, I think, is fantastic. The only other thing is the injuries as well. Didn't really finish last year. Really good the year before. Will Johnson, I think, top 10. I'd be surprised if he fell out of the top 10. J.D. Burton, I think, is fun to watch. Like, as far as watching the tape and watching all the videos, this is probably one of the most fun I had watching him as well. Excellent Marcus Peters type guy who's going to take the ball away, play in the slot. You can absolutely put him outside. I've seen him a little bit lower. That's a mistake. Definitely, I think the Ravens got to like his ability to take the ball away in the first round. Ben Morrison, I like him. I like him really good. I think he's not got some growing to do, but I think definitely more of a second round, probably late first. I could see team like it. And Sharon Revell, I think Siobhan Revell also to see him a little bit higher on boards. I think he could go late in the first round in the 20-ish area. These guys like between 20 and 40, something like that. But excellent as well. Tremendous speed he has. Love his speed. Definitely, if you want the guy with the great speed, you'll go ahead and take him. Malachi Starks at safety. I think Eric DaCosta mentioned taking a safety. So definitely Malachi Starks is the guy. Not quite as good this year as he's been at Georgia. I think there is some concern with that. Some concern. But I absolutely love Malachi Starks. His talent, his ability to go ahead and produce. I think he's an outstanding player. Definitely, to me, easy, the one that's for sure going in the first round. Definitely hitter. He has a really good safety, can hit and run. He can do both. So I definitely like Starks there. Definitely, again, EDC and John Harbaugh mentioned safety. So keep that in mind. They don't mind spending money on safety. I think not their highest priority, maybe, but it is possible. Xavier Watts, I think, we saw how good he was at Notre Dame. Definitely, he's a guy you could stick in the late first round. Definitely, the situation is right. If you put him on the right team, definitely think has the ability to go ahead and go in the late first round. Nick Amamore, I think I'm saying his name right, from South Carolina. I see him higher than I have him when I'm watching him. They say he has 4.3 speed. I don't see it on the field, though. I don't see it on the field. I think he's a bit more of a project than not a project might be too strong, but I think I see him high in the first round and mid. I think that's a bit much. A very late one, that's about as high as I would take him. Kevin Winston from Penn State, part of that traditional great Penn State defense. Outstanding. I think he was possibly the best player on the defense this year. About to Castro, I've seen him high and lower. I think definitely you can't go wrong taking a physical Iowa safety, especially with all the success Cooper DeJean had last year. Definitely second round. Edge. Bunch of edge rushers. I'm not sure about a lot of them. I don't think a lot of them are home runs like I'm hearing. At the top is Abdul Carter. There's no question about it. No question about it. Abdul Carter runs on. The thing I like about him is he has a great motor. He's on a football field and he never gets tired, never looks worn down, always looks in tremendous physical condition. So definitely a lot to like Abdul Carter. Mikal Williams, I think, is probably next. That's probably right. More of a traditional, to me, DN. I think like him playing in 4-3, 3-4 outside, went like a traditional 4 down. I think that is more of his strength, even though he's edge. James Pearce from Tennessee and Nick Skrull, kind of about the same. Definitely great speed edge. Like to have seen a little bit more production. Same with Shamar Stewart as well. The athleticism is there in all cases. I think I would like to have seen more production from all those guys, but athletically is there. But you never know. Sometimes you scheme them up. I think all those guys have it. Mike Green, terrific at the Senior Bowl. Big for him. I kind of bumped him up a little bit after his performance at the Senior Bowl. You watched the video of him knocking down Josh Connolly, so that was really good. Jack Sawyer, one of the 2 outstanding DNs. I think I got the school wrong. He's Ohio State. The Ohio State. Definitely, he might sneak in the first round. I could see that. He does have a lot of production. The measurables and everything aren't there as much, but definitely production as well there. Wide receiver, not as big a need, but I think it's not out of the realm, especially where the Ravens are picking. I could see some of this EDC stuff, like if the best guy is there, that they take one of these guys. Terry McMillan, I think, I don't have Travis Hunter on here for this because I already had him, but you could put Travis Hunter on this as well if you want to say he's wide receiver. Because I think he's a first-round wide receiver as well. McMillan, I have him at 1. Good route runner as well. Not blazing speed. I think at least I don't see it on the field when he's running, but he's definitely got the strength. He's a bit old school. I kind of like it though. I kind of like it there as well. Luther Burden, I think, is definitely going to go in the first round. Excellent career at Missouri. Emeka Ukuba from again, I got school wrong. Ohio, I messed up Ohio State again. The Ohio State University as well. Definitely amongst great receivers he's played. That's the only question I have with him. He played with Marvin Harrison. He played this year with Jermaine Smith. So he was an outstanding number 2 receiver in college. Can he go to the next level and step that up? But I think he's the goods. I think he definitely has excellent route running, great hands, not slow. Sometimes you almost say that it almost sounds like I'm saying he's slow. Not slow, but I think definitely the last of the first round. Boom, 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 right there. Matt Golden in Texas. I think probably in a perfect world, second round. I think the Steelers or somebody who's looking for a wide receiver later, Kansas City might take him. I think that's it. Trey Harris, I definitely more second than first. See some holes in his game. Not quite refined, a good athlete as well, but I like Trey Harris. It wouldn't shock me at the very end of the first that somebody takes him. This is the EDC special. So I think these are names, if they're there, they'll take them. Don't expect these guys to be there, but they're at positions I think the Ravens will look at. Best player available, Tyler Warren. Definitely, I think he's the best tight end in the cut. I think they take Warren. Colston Loveland, I almost put him. I don't think the Ravens particularly would do that in his case. I think Warren, is a complete tight end all around. I like his blocking. I think that's why he's helped Colston Loveland. Loveland is a guy that's more of a traditional receiver, where I think he's an all-around tight end. Warren is going to run somebody over. Ashton Genty, same. Best running back, easy. We all know what he's done. Some people said he should have won the Heisman Trophy. Outstanding season. Mason Graham and Walton Nolan, easy first rounders. They always can use defensive line help. Michael Pierce getting older. Travis Jones is still there, etc. But these guys are very high in the first round. For any reason they fall or they get close to the Ravens, might see a little bit of a move there for those guys. There you go. The draft. So, next week we'll do our mock draft. So those are the names I think that you'll see in the draft and the mock draft. And those, I think, are some of the names that the Ravens go at. Now, again, had a little bit of what I thought in that. Also, too, trying to line up what the Ravens would do in terms of that. But those are a lot of the names you're going to see in the draft as well. Safety, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. I think the biggest need is the offensive line. They have to do something there. They might need 2 players on the offensive line, offensive guard, offensive tackle. But definitely keep an eye on that as well. All right. So we are going to talk about Ben Cleveland a little bit. Ben Cleveland was arrested for DUI, unfortunately, this week, reported by TMZ, rather. So his blood alcohol level was super high. I don't want to harp it on it too much. I think he's definitely on his way to being ex-Raven. I think this was inevitable anyway. I don't think they were bringing him back. I don't think he wanted to come back. The only thing here I would say, this kind of maybe, I wonder if this was something that they knew about. This is maybe why he wasn't playing. Maybe they knew that there was an issue with him beforehand. I don't know that. I hope that isn't true. I mean, but it was all so confusing with him why they wouldn't at least consider it. So, and him getting arrested for DUI makes somebody want. I guess we'll never know. But I think that's absolutely something that's too bad as well that happened. Justin Tucker, 6 more massage therapists came forward this week saying similar things about Justin Tucker, more accusations. What's startling to me is no response from the Baltimore Ravens. Nothing about Tucker, nothing about this at all. No statements, nothing. They have been very curiously quiet as well. Tucker put out a statement when the first accusations came out, but we haven't heard anything from the Ravens. I don't know. They're going to have to talk at the combine pretty much. I think that's probably what we're thinking, what they're going to say, because they have to talk media. And, of course, they're going to get asked about Tucker and Ben Cleveland, etc. Right before the stream, unfortunately, I did see Terrell Suggs had some trouble legally as well. So that was as serious as what's going on here. But rough times here as far as guys, Ravens and now ex-Ravens with Suggs getting in trouble. So hoping for – we're definitely going to find out soon with Tucker, with free agency coming along. Ben Cleveland for sure is on his way to be ex-Raven. Hopefully everything works out for those guys as young men. Hopefully they all work out as well. We still don't know if any of this is true with Tucker. These are just allegations. Ben Cleveland was arrested for DI. He'll have his day in court. Let's all keep open minds on that because we don't know for sure. Quarterback predictions. So we don't know where quarterbacks are going to play in 2025, but let's go ahead and have a little fun predicting where they're going to play. Free agency, not quite starting yet, but let's see in 2025 where some of these guys are going to be playing as well. So the East is very easy. AFC East, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, Drake May, they're locked in as well to their positions. Jets, I think they're going to get rid of Aaron. They haven't yet. I think a miracle might happen as well with them keeping Aaron Rodgers. Hold on, let me get the right graph up. I don't think I have that. Give me 1 second. I think I updated this. Management appreciates your cooperation. We will appreciate all of your appreciation. All right, so we got the graphic up. We got the right graphic up. Okay, so I see Aaron Rodgers. That's not the right graphic. Justin Fields, I think the Jets have been talking to Justin Fields. I definitely think he's going out of Pittsburgh for sure. I definitely believe the Jets have some interest. They're going to have to take a free agent there. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold with the Squealers. If I'm him, that's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and sign in Pittsburgh for sure. I think they're going to have to take a free agent taking 21st. Jackson, Dart, Milroe, not quite good enough. I think to go ahead and take that late. Early second, they could trade back and do it. I don't think that serves an immediate need. Sam Darnold would. Some questions about it. I definitely do it if I'm Pittsburgh. This is better than anything you had in last year. You're not going to be picking high a lot of times in the draft. This is the best way forward. Shador, Sanders, I don't buy for a second that they're this crazy not to take a quarterback when you need one so terrible. There's no way you could go with Deshaun Watson. Shador Sanders, I think, is definitely the next quarterback of the Browns. There are a little bit worried about Deion Sanders and his influence. His son is an outstanding quarterback. I think they cannot pass on that. Trevor Lawrence, I think, stays in Jacksonville. The Squirrels did show some interest. Some teams are showing some interest. I don't think they move him. I think they keep him. I don't know about Lawrence anymore, though. They regress. I really think the next coach really needs to go ahead and coach him up and see and push him a little bit because he has some work to do. Tools are still there. Cam Ward, I think the next Steve McNair, I think absolutely. When I see Cam Ward, there's a lot of similarities to Steve McNair. I think I hear some tight fans talking about Steve McNair. I think Cam Ward, I definitely think they take him first in the draft, Cam Ward. Anthony Richardson, I don't know. I don't think so. I was hesitant in the draft. I'm not seeing it on the field yet. Athleticism is still there. Shane Steichen's got to work with him. See, can you keep him healthy? CJ Stroud, no question about it. Only question is he a top 5 quarterback? In the West, Mahomes, Herbert, Bo Nix, no question about it. Nix, I think, is really the only question is, can he be in the upper echelon of the elite quarterbacks in a very difficult AFC? Russell Wilson, I think, goes to the Raiders. The devil that you know, that Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson know each other. Tom Brady's making decisions there, familiar with them. I don't see any reason why they would go in a different direction. You got to do that. I think he wants to go there. I think Russell's kind of maybe wanted to go back to Pittsburgh, but I think they're going to move on from him. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, I think, is an elite quarterback. There's no question about it. Prescott is just got to get healthy, play a little better. Hurts, I think, is an elite quarterback now as well. So you have 2 outstanding quarterbacks in that division. Kirk Cousins. We'll see, man. Cousins, yeah, man. I think that's – look, the Giants would love to get one of the first 2 quarterbacks. I think they are going to make an offer, but I think this is kind of the direction they're going to go with Cousins. I think people are kind of forgetting about him. I think he's going to get one more shot to start. That's the route they're going to go. Vikings, J.J. McCarthy. I think they're doing it. Again, kind of like Anthony Richardson, I'm not the biggest believer in McCarthy, but they picked him high. They don't want to spend a lot of money on it. They're going to give it a shot. I don't know if it's a great idea, but I think they're going to go with that. The rest of it is set. Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams. I don't think there's any question about it. Little regression from Love. I think Williams, like to see him pick it up here as well. South, we know Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, Derek Carr. I think he stays. I don't think he gets traded. I think the Giants do look at him. I don't know if there's a lot of market for him. I don't think so. Michael Penix, I think, is going to start for sure in Atlanta. In the West, I think set pretty good. Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, Matt Stafford, and Kyler Murray. Stafford, the trade rumors. I don't know why the Rams would trade him. I really don't. I don't know why the Rams would get out of that unless they like Aaron Rodgers or like. I don't see why they don't have an early pick to take a quarterback. So I don't think they do that. But we'll see. I think they're just negotiating. They're talking about moving him for the last 3 years, believe it or not. So we'll see. There you go. Quarterback predictions for 2025. It's good to be a Ravens fan when you look at that because Lamar's not going anywhere for a while. His contract is coming up. But, yeah, it's hard. A lot of these teams don't have a quarterback. They're really out here looking.